Hey everybody, Jeff Nelson here at slapofthebass.com. Welcome back for the weekly music theory lesson. Today we're going to learn how to build the most simple chord you can build, also known as the triad. We're going to learn the major triad, the minor triad, the diminished triad, and the augmented triad. So there's two ways we can think about building our triads. We can think of it in terms of intervals, or we can think of it in terms of scale degrees, and I'm going to touch on both today. So the first chord I want to build is a simple major triad, and we're going to start on the top string, 5th fret, that is an A, and the first interval is a major third, so we go to C sharp, and then you put a minor third on top of that, so you get A, C sharp, and E. So together that's. So we could play those notes together. You notice that doesn't sound very clear. We'd actually have to revoice it and put the third an octave higher, so that would sound like this. Sounds a lot clearer, doesn't it? Now let's think about the same chord, but let's think of it in terms of scale degrees instead of intervals. So what you got here is you have the first scale degree, or the root, with the third scale degree, with the 5th scale degree. So that's root, third, 5th, root, third, 5th. So now let's start with our same A, but this time we're going to build a minor chord instead of a major chord. So let's start out with our A, and then you go up a minor third, and then you go up a major third from there. Or again, we could play the notes together. But again, it's a little bit of a stretch and it sounds muddy and unclear, so we would revoice that to this. So we would take our minor third and go up an octave, start with our root and go to our 5th, and then take our up an octave minor third, and we end up with that. And we're actually going to have a lesson on voicing chords the right way on the bass. Don't worry if this trips you up a little bit. We're going to cover this more in depth later. You can also play that chord by just barring the A fret, and then you'll play your 5th, which is 2 frets away, with your pinky. And then you'll take your thumb, index finger, and another finger, I use my middle finger, and pluck them together. But that gives you a little bit weaker sounding chord than this. But it's probably a little easier to bar it actually. Now if you want to think about the minor scale in terms of scale degrees, you actually have to know the minor scale first, which sounds like this. And you take the first, the third, and the 5th scale degree. Okay, so now that we've covered the two most commonly used type of triads, let's use some less commonly known and used triads. That's the diminished and the augmented triads. Let's start out on our same note A to build a diminished triad. So you start with an A, and then you go up a minor third, and then you go up another minor third. And let's just take those notes up an octave and see what they sound like together. Kind of different, huh? To build this chord scalarly, you have to use the diminished scale, and you would use the first notes, the third notes and the fifth notes. So you have first, third, fifth. The final chord that I want to show you how to build is called the Augmented Triad. Let's start out with our same A, and then you go up a major third, and then you go up another major third. So let's take those three notes up an octave and see what they sound like together. So to find the augmented triad scalarly, we're going to use the regular major scale, but we're going to alter it slightly. What we're going to do is we're going to raise the fifth a half step. So what that's going to be is the root, the third, and the fifth raised a half step. So that is. So now that we've taken a look at all four different types of chords, let's go back and review them and make sure we understand how to build them. The major chord is a major third with a minor third on top. A minor chord is a minor third with a major third on top. A diminished chord is a minor third with a minor third on top. And an augmented chord is a major third with a major third on top. And for all these examples, I've been showing arpeggios to show you where the notes are instead of playing the notes simultaneously. But don't worry, because there's plenty of chords that you can play on the bass, and we're going to have a lot of lessons to show you those different chords and how to play them. And scale-wise, let's remember that the major triad is the root, third, and fifth of the major scale played together. The minor triad is the root, third, and fifth of the minor scale played together. The diminished triad is the root, third, and fifth of the diminished scale played together. And the augmented triad is the root, the third, and the raised fifth of the major scale played together. Alright, that's it for today, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow the link in the description, and remember to slap at the bass.